Hello there, Aquarius. My name's Frankie. I'm a clairvoyant, clairaudient, medium, and an empath. This reading's for Aquarius for January of 2019. Happy New Year. We made it through 2018. Now we're on the upswing, hopefully again. For all of you guys out there that are new, I pull 4 cards for the month. We'll use the bottom card on the deck for an overall view of the month and pull an angel card at the end of the reading to hopefully bring everything together for us. Now, because I am an empath, I have a speech pattern. I speak as if I'm you. That, I guess, makes all of us Aquariuses named Frankie for the time of this reading. The other thing is look at your moon sign and rising sign. Get a more comprehensive view of the month. And I don't think the cards will go week by week. I think they're going to blend in and out like a theme throughout the month. Now, before I start, I am very much barely getting over bronchitis, so if I cough, I'm apologizing up front to clear the air ahead of time. At least you guys aren't here with me to catch it, and that's a good thing. We have a little message this month, and the message is to avoid misunderstandings. Do not make assumptions. If you get into a situation where there can be a power struggle this month, be patient, step back, and compromise. And that's how they're putting it to me. I don't know. There's a lot of eclipse energy. I think there's 2 this month. I'm not an astrologer, so maybe that's what's bringing this on. We have really good words here. They are respect, willingness, depth, creativity, and birth. Maybe birth of something creative, or perhaps birth of a child or something like that. But we got a heck of a set of cards here. Our card on the bottom of the deck is the Knight of Swords. Now, usually this guy's on a charging horse, moving forward into battle. In this one, though, he's already got blood on his sword. And this will be male or female. It's going to be air energy. It's Aquarius, Libra, or Gemini. I guess we're showing up in our own reading, which might be helpful for us, you know. He acts as if he's about to encounter a battle. But like I said, in this card, he's got blood on the sword. That means he already did the battle, and he's just moving on forward because he expects to win the battle, and that just makes him even a little bit more aggressive in this kind of energy. He can represent a person who is overly aggressive, who is on a constant type of attack mode, you know, or it can mean that we are aggressively pursuing a lifestyle that's going to allow us to live out our own philosophical ideas or our own way that we want to live. You know, but with looking at that original message, it might be that we need the patience and we need a little bit of that compromise in here, you know, because as a messenger, he can bring like probably bad news that it relates to us personally or someone that's really close to us, you know, some kind of conflict, you know, that's at hand, but it's not physical. It's usually a mental conflict. It's not like somebody's coming to beat us up or chasing us down with this kind of sword. It can be really like angry, violent differences of opinion. That kind of stuff, like the boss that says, you will do what I said, and does not give us that word respect. Let me think about what else they want to say here. If it's not a person, it can be us, so involved like in our own intellectual pursuits that we forgot about other facets of our life. You know, we don't want to do that. We might be a little too forceful in expressing our opinion. That could be why we got the original message, because we think outside the box, Aquarius. You know, people, nobody holds us down or back. This can also be like us, like with that word creativity and birth, like going forward for something we want to pursue, like a new job or, you know, a new lifestyle, that kind of thing. But what it advises us is don't make shortcuts along the way. Don't make shortcuts, because this Knight of Swords energy can make shortcuts. Like, let's say you're building something and you want it done, you want it done at this timeline, and you can't get the excellent parts that you need to put it together. That's what he reminds me of. But so you hurry up and quick buy something that's inferior, the part's inferior, and you put it all together and there it is, but it breaks down later. You know, like that lack of forethought, you know. But it can be good, like, in a part, as long as it's not like someone telling us. We do not like being told what to do, how to act, and, you know, where it's coming from. So if there's any lack of respect, we're liable to stand up like this, and we'll be willing to do it. And I think that's why Spirit's saying, you know, using that word depth, it's like, go back in. If this is not me spitting it out, it's somebody else around me. Don't assume that I know what they're thinking or where they're coming from, right? First and foremost, this way we don't get into the misunderstanding or into the power struggle that he can cause a lot of times. So we don't want that for us or for anyone who's around us. We want to hold that respect. We want to have the things that we need in order to move forward, but we want to do it with patience and compromise. And, you know, because a lot of things are transforming. This is the beginning of the year. You know, we got new starts, new beginnings happening. This Knight of Swords demands respect, right? But may not have matured enough to get it. And that's not us. But when we want something, we go for it. So if we have like a partnership deal and this is us, we're going to have to show respect for the other people. We're going to have to be a little patient, be a little more compromising in what our original plan was. I can't put this where you'll have to put it in the area of life where it belongs for you, you know. But wherever it belongs, remember, in order to avoid the misunderstanding, do not assume. Knight of Swords energy can assume. Remember, they're always with that trajectory forward. I'm going into battle, I'm going to win it, that's the end of the story. That's not like us normally. So we are in our own reading, and there may be someone trying to hold us back. Someone showing us a lack of respect. That could be another air energy, male or female, you know. And if someone is doing that, it's going to be a hard thing for us to swallow this month. And I think more than anything, because we have that, we are so creative. We always have fresh new ideas. We always are moving forward, you know, on the path that suits us or where we want to be to bring and manifest the things that we want in our lives. So giving respect as well as accepting respect is important. A lot of times we forget that. We forget we need to be as respected, and our opinions need to be as respected as others think theirs are of value, so are ours. And that's exactly the way Spirit's saying it. So keep that in mind and calm down, be patient, take the deep breath, and go from there. Our next card here is a little scary after that little talking to, huh? We got the Five of Pentacles, and that's a money card, and it can be maybe money's getting tight. Maybe that's why This Knight of Swords energy is so aggressive. Can mean losses, like financial losses. Maybe I think they're going to cut back my hours at work and I'm trying to put money away, those kind of things, or prepare for it, and I'm willing to do that. I feel sorry because these guys here, he's got a band, usually they're in the snow, but I can't get the glare off of there. He's got a bandage on his head and he's bleeding in this one, you know, but the premise of the card is still financial, and it can be financial gain if it's played right. Look behind, there's a light. This is the church, supposedly, the window into the church. All these people needed to do was to turn around and look, open that door, open that window, and there was help. Someone who would help them, someone who was willing to help them, someone that respected what they were going for or their new creative idea or birth or however, you know, and if the birth means the birth of a child, maybe we're thinking, oh God, I'm going to be off of work for a while, you know, if it's that kind of birth for us. If you know what to do, Aquarius, if that's not in the cards for you, we would be maybe gathering funds or putting things away because we're going to be off of work for a while, maybe not have full salary or, you know, overtime, things like that. This is always, there is help if I turn around. So what this tells me is if I'm going on one trajectory, this single point of view, single focus forward, right? With that kind of energy. And let's say, I want a loan for a car. And I go to the bank and they say, oh yeah, sure, we're going to give you the loan for the car. And I just blow it off and I'm like, okay, and I go buy the car and the bank loan, they turn around and say, well, we decided to deny ya, you know, or they raise the interest rate up overnight on us, something along those lines. We have a backup plan. We turn around, we see, we'd have like, maybe we inquire from a few banks who's going to give us the lesser, you know, interest rate. We're willing to look, you know, towards that which is better for us and not put ourselves in that single blinder point of focus type attitude and know there's other ways to get the things that we want. So maybe that's that assumption thing, you know, and don't assume anything. There can be more than one way to skin a cat, Aquarius. Like I said, I don't know where this is going to come down in our lives, but it is definitely going to come down. I got my little post-it pad sliding off of the computer here because our next card, and we have 2 10s in here. Our next card is the 10 of Cups. Excellent. This is, you know, completion. I finally made it through everything. It's one of those kind of, you know, it's abundance in all forms. Not necessarily just money, like our 5 of Pentacles, but emotional abundance, where and financial, can be financial too. But where I've done the heavy lifting, I've done what I had to do, and this is my result of all the work and time and effort and sweat I put into it. I'm allowed to have that emotional freedom to, like, maybe sit around for a day or two or focus on my family and my friends, you know, what I forgot during the time when I was being, you know, aggressively pursuing that which I needed. Now this gives me the time. And the 10 is completion. It's like I finally made it. I finally made it. I've got what I wanted. I know I was really focused. Oh, maybe we'll have to go around saying sorry to a bunch of people, Aquarius, but what can we say? We will get what it is that we want. And we also will get the respect too. And everybody's in harmony here. You know, and I think it's because we didn't make the assumptions. We didn't just blow, you know, blow off the handle, and I don't think that came out of my mouth right, like blow off the handle and blow up, and we took that step back. We were patient, we made compromise. If there was another way to do something and I was still getting it done, I'd say, okay, that's acceptable that way too. Because our next card here, well, we got a lot of crazy energy in this reading, don't we? We got the Seven of Swords. The premise behind the Seven of Swords, it's their energy still, is he's the white elephant in the middle of the camp. Supposedly he went in broad daylight and stole these 5 swords in front of everybody and left 2, and everybody saw him, but nobody's talking about it. It's kind of like that's the way they explain the card. He's the thief card. I guess probably to some people he literally means a thief, someone coming in and being a thief or stealing something from me. I don't feel that with this type of energy and the rest of the energy I'm seeing here. But when this Seven of Swords comes up, it tells us that use caution in all of our dealings. That's what's called for. Caution in all of our dealings. That means read everything. If you're signing anything, there's like a suggestion with this card of roundabout action or indirect communication. Now, we know that ain't the Knight of Swords that's doing that kind of, I don't think it is, but that's what the card is. Nothing's quite what it seems to be when you get this card, and you have to use your wit to achieve your aims. You have to use your wit to achieve your aims, and your patience and your compromise, your ability to compromise. It's a warning to avoid overconfidence in anything. You may like appear to be on the top spot right now, but lack of proper prudence, like that paying attention can still do you in with this showing up in the mix here. It means we have the upper hand over a tricky situation, but we still need to exercise like caution in handling all of our affairs. And with that Knight of Swords energy in there, it really makes a lot of logical sense looking at the last card over here. It's you can't go at anything like the bull in the china shop. Once again, patience and compromise, discretion, discrimination, diplomacy, and evasive action are usually still required. We may not like this kind of approach, right? But it's the most highly likely to achieve success if we do it like that. And it also means we could get good advice, like out of the clear blue sky. It'll just pop at us out the clear blue sky, and it'll be just exactly what we need at the right time. So we may not like being like this. Maybe we want to be right up in your face, like this energetics, but this can get us what we want. So we don't go in there crash and banging like the bull and I'm going to have what I want right now when I want it. We are mature. We take this knight up a level and make him a king, and we might have to back off a little bit, but we will get exactly what we want. So if I was saying like this was a promotion that I was aggressively pursuing in order with this Five of Pentacles to raise my salary, and be able to spend more time with my family with the Ten of Cups energy, maybe I have to do this. Maybe I don't tell all my ideas to everybody, that's out there listening. Someone takes an idea from me and presents it to the boss as theirs, and they get the promotion instead. It's kind of like that zip your lip, put duct tape over your mouth, and speak the truth, but speak it in a right way with that discrimination and diplomacy. I always think when I see this card, going in the back door in order to always be able to come through the front door. So if I have plans like or good ideas, creative ideas that I wanted to birth, and maybe it would fit right with a project at work. This is the idea that's popping in my head. I'm not going to go tell every coworker because that promotion would be coming. I would keep my ideas to myself and maybe not present them until I was interviewed for the promotion. It's kind of that simple, you know, and that complicated because that's not quite in our personality. But we can do this. I mean, we have that word depth there. We have willingness. If it's going to bring forth that which we require to bring us this 10 of cups here, it's well worth it, you know, instead of going crashing and banging and say, that was my idea and I told them and they stole it, you know, that kind of energy we don't need. And looking at this, it could go like the opposite. Maybe the Knight of Swords might be an aggressive person, you know, that's just taking whatever it is they want off of us, and it's not making us happy, and that's where we want is our 10 of Cups energy. So, you know, that could be too with that 7 of Swords. You'll have to place it where it belongs. I kind of think it might be money oriented and something emotional that is really important to us that we want completed or finished. And we're going to have that patience and compromise in order to get through it and get that which we require. So that's like it's a lot to ask, but it's better that we do that, and and the end result is it's still good, you know, and nothing's undercut, or like what they gave the example of buying inferior parts when we wanted something really particular, just to keep it, shove it forward, you know, and get it out of the way. That kind of energy, we don't want to do that, because our next card here is another 10. The 10 of Rods, 10 of Wands, whatever you want to call it. And that's carrying a really heavy burden. And it may have been a heavy burden that we wanted. We have 2 10s here. Maybe we took it on to get that promotion at work. So why give up our ideas to everybody else when they would take them and write, you know, and say it's my idea, and they get the promotion. So if I'm working this hard on something and it's that worth it to me, I will have the strength and the energy to complete that cycle. The other thing with this is if I am carrying other people's loads, and it is not my load to carry, remember that. It's a coworker that comes and throws their work on my desk and says, oh, Aquarius, finish that. I just don't have time. I got to go paint my nails. Whatever. Throw it back. Beep. Don't assume. Just say, well, I'm sorry. I can't do your work for you. I have more than my fair share. This can be a kid, you know, not cleaning their room, and I'm cleaning up after everybody in the family, and finally I pull them all into line and say, okay, that's the end of the story. Everybody's getting allowance, but I'm not, and I'm the one that's working 2 jobs, and it gets cut right here, you know, that kind of energy too. So if it is someone else's burden to carry, sometimes people will do that if we step up and continue to let them do it without stepping up to the plate and saying no, then we will continually carry that heavy load. We have 2 10s here, and these cards blend. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Rods. So these cards, I mean, they blend throughout the month. This is the card that we want, right? This is what we're pursuing aggressively. The thing that we want, the thing we took that burden on for, you know? And the other thing is sometimes maybe we just don't, it's not working for us and we don't want to carry the burden anymore. We just chuck the whole kit and caboodle, you know, and may say, I want more respect. End of the story in this house or at the workplace or whatever is coming up. You'll have to put it where it goes. But I think it has in your life. It has to do with, you know, or the husband that comes home from work after a hard day and I'm working all day too. And I come home and he's in there, you know, sitting down and feet kicked up watching TV waiting for me to clean up the kids and put dinner on the table for them. May not work for us this month, Aquarius. That's all I gotta say. Oh, good gravy. Maybe this is what it is. Sorry. I never know. You never know. It says, yeah, I can't get it off of there. It's too dark in here. It says, time to go. Wow. I don't know what we're doing, but we're going to settle some stuff up here this month. It says the sun sets and rises each day, and it is the same with the avenues of your life. See the beauty within each sunset of your life and know that the sun will also rise again tomorrow. Endings are merely the start of a new beginning, and we are with you through each phase and cycle. And that's exactly what we have here. 2 tens. All wrapped up, the end of the cycle, and it reduces to a 1, the beginning of a new cycle, all at the same time. And this is January. Wow, Aquarius, it may be a little bumpy, I don't know, but it's sure going to be interesting, huh? Let me see where I'm supposed to be at here. Sorry about the nose and head thing. I sound like a little foghorn. The angels bring you this card to help you admit to yourself it's time to leave. You already know the situation they're referring to. You've hesitated leaving because of loyalties or fears, yet the angels assure you that it's the best way. Work very closely with your angels during this transition to ensure its harmony for everyone concerned. Surrender any guilt or other negative emotions to heaven as your energy needs to stay high right now. Completion and the end of a cycle is at hand. Maybe the cycle of burdens into the cycle of abundance, and that's how it feels to me. The purpose has been served in this relationship or a situation. Surrender and release. Call upon Archangel Azrael for help with grieving and Archangel Michael for help with courage. Wow, Aquarius, we got one heck of a reading, didn't we? Well, I want to tell you all thank you for your likes, shares, subscribes, and for your comments. I read each and every single one of them, and I really appreciate them. If anyone wants to know more about me or just go neb about me, all the information's down below the screen at the website. If you want to set an appointment with me, all of the information to be able to do that is at the website, and that's in the About section. The prayer class and sutra class are out there for you. There's 2 short videos that explain them. They are now over at the website. I didn't know you guys were scrolling through hundreds of YouTubes in order to find the little short videos that explain them. So they are over at the website. Now the prayer class is very comprehensive. It's the how to format, why you format them the way you do for like manifestation and this kind of work. And the sutras are thought forms that you put into a simple meditation that takes 5 minutes a day and enhances the clear perceptions dramatically. Really fine-tunes them. It's a good tool for your toolbox. And to all of you I've met through doing 2 whole years of YouTube videos, and everyone I've met through 29 years of doing this work, I want to tell you, it's been an honor and a privilege and a joy to be able to serve you. And hopefully I'll see you back here next month without bronchitis. Bye-bye.